It was 1994, and times were getting rough in the north. So, I found it more suitable to head south in search of jobs with the oil industry. However, until I made it big, I would have to live smartly. And that meant no more living comfortably for a good while. I didn't really have any family left, other than cousins who couldn't be bothered to care about me. So, I packed up what I could and headed off to Kansas. With what little money I had, I ended up staying in a very run-down house by myself. It was very small, and I got a distinctively sad feeling from it. But I would have to call it home for a good while. Because of my long day of traveling and moving, I was completely worn out. So I put my things where I wanted them for the time being, chose a bedroom, and I went to bed early. That night, I had a strange yet very sweet dream about a young alien snake boy who saved me from a different alien who was violent and aggressive. The alien was hidden inside a abnormally large spacesuit. And if you got close enough to where you could see inside the mask, there was nothing inside, just darkness. It pushed me down the hall of the house, grabbed my arm tightly until I cried out in pain. I could only hear the sounds coming from within the spacesuit, and I was frightened until the boy arrived. It was all very charming and quite Peter Pan-ish. The boy was clothed in what appeared to be Hawaiian garb. He had no shirt, but a boy's hula skirt and the bracelets on his arms and leg. Around his neck were strange circular markings. I thought they were just part of the costume. In a matter of moments, the boy worked his magic. He pulled out a snake from his pocket that was wrapped in twine and threw it at the other alien. It exploded comedically into a giant anaconda. The boy ordered me to run. He grabbed my hand and began to pull me away. We ran and ran until we were far away and safe from the other alien. Even though it was clear that I was older than this boy, he was clearly king around here. I thanked him for saving me, and for a few hours, we played together. I remember checking my watch in my dream and telling him I was sorry, but I had to go. He looked so sad and afraid, but he was patient. He smiled and declared, "I am not of this world, so I'll see you whenever I want. Take care." And then I woke up. I tried to think about what I had eaten the other night for dinner. They say if you eat something too acidic, you might have intense dreams. I couldn't remember eating anything at all last night. I decided to shrug it off and go about my morning routine by getting some tea and making breakfast. I reached up to grab a cup and froze. There, on my arm, was a large bruise pattern, right where that alien had grabbed me forcefully. I quickly just passed it off as an injury I had acquired from moving and continued on my daily routine. I even applied to a few businesses. Finally, at the end of the day, I settled in and fell asleep. The little alien boy was back in the house, and he was teasing me with snakes. I cringed and recoiled in fear of the snakes, having a slight phobia of them. But the boy calmed me down. "These snakies are nice, miss. They like to give kisses, see? Here's Gerald. He's lovely. Take him for a bit, would ya?" The boy began putting Gerald around my neck like a boa. I played with the snake for quite a while, and soon became happy with snakes. This one wasn't too bad, I suppose. But when the alien boy was away, the other alien came, and it must have scared Gerald, for he began to slowly strangle me. I patted the snake gently and then tried my hardest to pull it off without killing it, but I could no longer breathe. The alien boy came back at the last moment and pulled the snake off. "Sorry about that, miss. I forgot that Gerald is a little fraidy snake. He'll latch on to anything when he gets scared." He then turned to face the alien beast. As they both fought an intense battle of snakes versus brute strength, I ran down the hall and escaped into the bedroom door and locking it behind me. In that moment, I looked down at my watch and read 11:45 p.m. It's time to go. And like that, I was awoken from the dream. I sat up in bed, now with a slightly uneasy feeling working its way into the pit of my stomach. What is with these weird dreams? Perhaps I'm a bit stressed. Yes, that must be it. Stress. As I think this to myself, I yawn loudly and notice my voice was hoarse and my throat was sore. No way. I can't be getting sick. I've got too much to do. I went to my bathroom to check the inside of my throat and try the gurgling with salt water trick. But I froze in front of the mirror. Around my neck, there were scaly ligature marks. I let out something of a wail now. What the hell are these dreams? I cried out, rushing to put some kind of ointment on the marks. There has to be something else to them. I began to wonder about the dreams. So that night, I went to bed early once more. This time, things were different. The alien boy didn't smile. He stood there, shuffling his feet awkwardly. Okay, child, what is it? I smiled brightly at him, but it seemed to make him even more nervous. Well, miss, I have to say, I really like you. You're the first to come and play with me here. No one ever notices me. I gasp and smile, thinking about how I was the first crush of an alien boy in a dream. That's sweet and all, but I'm much older than you are, sir. How about you find yourself a nice alien girl of the same age or so? He didn't smile back. I'm older than you, miss. I stared at him in confusion and was about to argue my case when he grabbed me by the hand and started leading me down the hallway to the middle of the hall. I'm going to show you a secret room now, one which that mean old alien wanted to hide from everyone. I captured it though, and now it's my secret base. He stopped and stretched out his hand at the wall. A light glowed on the wall and a hole appeared in it, showing us a secret room. I walked inside to see the sort of things you'd expect to find in an attic or a closet. Boxes lined the floor in one corner, and there was furniture from a much older time. The boy sat down in an old-fashioned rocking chair and gently swayed back and forth. "This is the last time you'll ever see me, miss." "What? No! Why's that?" "The next time you come here, you'll come by yourself. And then you'll understand. Besides, isn't it time for you to leave?" I found myself crying. I didn't want to leave him by himself. Time went more slowly in these dreams. We had been through so much together, and I felt like a mother figure to him. Nevertheless, as the dream ordered it, I looked down at my watch and noted the time. 11:45 p.m. It's time to go. Then I awakened. This time, there were no markings on my body, but I could have sworn I saw the little alien boy in the doorway of my bedroom one last time, smiling at me and holding up Gerald up for me to see before he faded away. I rushed into the garage and grabbed a shovel. I re-embarked on our little adventure and counted the steps to the hidden room. Then I faced the wall and hit it forcefully until it crumbled, revealing a doorway. I walked in and was startled at what I saw. In the old-fashioned rocking chair in the corner sat two skeletons, one of a child and the other of a large person who seemed to be cradling the child with one arm, while the other leaned off the chair, pointing a gun that had fallen from it. Dried blood marked the walls behind the man's head and the stained skeletons. At the foot of the skeletons laid a toy snake, a piece of paper, and a picture book. The paper read,
I sealed myself inside so no one could see my face again. I'm a damn fool and a drunk to boot. How could I choke the life out of my 7-year-old son? The only person in this world who I ever loved. Sure, I'd hit him from time again, and occasionally give him a boot to the rear. But I was just trying to make sure he grew up right. And make sure he'd get his head out of the clouds. In grief after his death, I found his stories, and I realized I was his worst fear. What manner of monster have I become? I hope my son can forgive me one day for what I've done. David Harvey, 1904.
I picked up the picture book that laid at my feet and read the cover. The Adventures of David Jr., the incredible Amazonian snake charmer. And just under that read, David Jr., Amazonian snake charmer versus the horrible spaceman.